Dear students, let me start with one of the important topics which is always asked in many of the exams, and that topic is outbreeding devices. In our previous lecture, we have dealt with the pollination and we have studied that we have two pollination types. One is the self and another one is the cross pollination. So in case of self pollination, there are many self pollinated flowers which are not self pollinated. Instead, what is occurring inside them? There is prevention of self pollination, and there is promotion of what? There is promotion of cross pollination. Now how it occurs, we will learn from this mechanism, and this mechanism is called as outbreeding devices. So what are outbreeding devices? These are those devices which promote what? Which promote cross pollination and prevent what? They prevent self pollination, or they prevent inbreeding, and they promote what? They promote cross pollination, or they promote outbreeding. So what are outbreeding devices? They are the structural, physiological and genetic mechanisms. They are what? Structural, physiological and genetic mechanisms which have evolved to promote cross pollination, and they prevent what? They prevent self pollination. And due to this, what occurs? There is increase in genetic diversity. Because of this cross pollination, there is increase in adaptability, there is evolution, and this genetic diversity, this adaptability and this evolution overall leads to what? It leads to increase in overall plant health. Okay. Now we have with us many of the outbreeding devices. The first one device is the dichogamy, the second one is the hercogamy, third one is the self incompatibility, fourth one is the unisexuality, and fifth one is the heterostyly. We have 5 types of outbreeding devices. Now I will be explaining all of them to you one by one. First I will be dealing with the dichogamy. So let us move towards the dichogamy. What is dichogamy? Dichogamy is when both, in case of a single flower, same flower, there is maturation of anthers and stigma at different times. This is the main thing in case of dichogamy. There are present both anthers and stigma, but they mature at what? They mature at different times. If they haven't matured at different times, सेल्फ पॉलिनेशन वुड हैव अकर्ड. अगर तो वो सेम टाइम पे मेच्योर करते तो सेल्फ पॉलिनेशन हो जाती. एंथर्स एंड स्टिग्मा, दे आर बोथ एट मेच्योरिटी स्टेज and they will undergo self, but there is a outbreeding device which is called as dichogamy, which is when both anthers and stigma are present, but they do not mature at same time. What they do? They mature at different times in the same flower. So again this dichogamy is of 2 types. One is the protandry and another one is the protogyny. Protandry is when anthers mature first before the stigma. When anthers mature first, that dichogamy is called as protogyny, and this is found in case of sunflower and salvia. These two are we have many of the examples. I have quoted here only 2 examples. One is the sunflower and another one is the salvia. Then second case of dichogamy is the protogyny. Protogyny is when stigma matures first before the anthers. When stigma matures first, that is called as the protogyny. The example is avocado and plantain. This is the dichogamy. You can see from the diagrams. This is the case of protogyny. There is maturation of this there is maturation of this carpel or the stigma, but you can see from the diagram the anthers, they are immature, so the pollination will not occur between these two. Then is the protandry. In case of protandry, the anthers mature. You can see from the diagram the anthers, they have matured, they are ready to fertilize, but the stigma is not receptive. It is not able to get fertilized by these pollen grains, so the self pollination, it will not occur. In spite, what will occur? The cross pollination will occur. This is the dichogamy. Let us move towards the next outbreeding devices, which is the hercogamy. Hercogamy is what? Hercogamy is when there is both stigma and the anthers, they are present inside the same flower, but there is a what? There is a physical barrier which is preventing them from the self pollination. What happens? Cross pollination will occur. Example is, you can see this is the example of a plant which is called as calotropis. both both stigma and these anthers, they are present, but between this stigma and these anthers, there is, you can see, there is yellow colored flap which is preventing these two from self pollination. They will not undergo cell, they will undergo what? This flap will prevent them from self pollination. They will undergo what? They will undergo the cross pollination. Another example of hercogamy is of gloriosa. Here the stigma is far above the stamens. It is very far away from the stamens, so the self pollination will not occur. And what will occur? Instead, cross pollination will occur. This is a second type of outbreeding device. Third one is the self incompatibility और जेनेटिक इनकम्पैटिबिलिटी. सेल्फ मीन्स कि खुद से ही जो है, खुद का ही जो पोलन ग्रेन है, it is not able to fertilize the same stigma. It is self incompatible. It is there as you can see. Pollen is there, stigma is there. Pollen is there, stigma is there. Pollen is there, stigma is there, but it is not able to fertilize. It is not here. The S1 is not able to fertilize the stigma. Here both S1 and S2, they are not able to fertilize. Here both S3 and S4, they are able to fertilize. So what is self incompatibility? A genetic mechanism where pollen from the same plant or genetically similar plant is unable to fertilize the ovule. This is found, this self incompatibility you can have in case of brassica, in case of petunia, and in case of tomato. This is the third type of self incompatibility. The fourth one is the unisexuality or dicliny. What is it? It is the production of unisexual flowers. Unisexual means, uni means one, sexual means sex, either male or female. This means either staminate or pistillate, either male or either female flowers are found. Again, this is of two types. Unisexuality, when male and female flowers are on the same plant, when male and female flowers are, but they are not able to fertilize. Dioecious, when male and female flowers are on different plants, again they lead to what? They lead to cross pollination. The examples of monoecious are maize, and the example of dioecious is papaya and date palm. You can see from the diagram, this is the example of a bisexual flower, and this is the example of a unisexual flower. Then last one is the heterostyly. Hetero means two, styly means style types. Means heterostyly, we mean that we have styles, but the hetero, they are of two types. What is heterostyly? Flowers of the same species have styles and stamens of different lengths. They have both pistil or carpel and stamen present, but these stamens and the style of this carpel, it is at different lengths. That is why these stamens are not able to fertilize these stigmas, and which will ensure that no self pollination will occur. What will occur? The cross pollination will occur. You can see from the diagrams, this is the case of a flower where there is long style, but these stamens, they are of short length and they are not able to fertilize the same flower on the same stigma. And this is the example of another flower in which the style is long but the stigma is at shorter length. So we have the two types of style. One is the long style and another one is the short style. And due to this heterostyly, again what happens? No self pollination will occur. What will occur? The cross pollination will occur. So what are outbreeding devices? These are those devices which ensure that no self pollination will occur. What happens? Instead, cross pollination will occur. Now let us move towards the significance of this outbreeding devices. The significance of outbreeding devices, that it increases as the cross pollination, it occurs between two different flowers of two different plants but same species. So two plants are involved, that means two characters from the two different plants but of the same species are involved. It will lead to what? It will lead to genetic variation. Two different genetic variants will combine and they will lead to the rise of a progeny, and it will prevent what? It will prevent inbreeding depression, and it will lead to what? It will lead to promotion of evolution and adaptability, and which in turn leads to the survival and the fitness of the species. Thank you so much. Kindly like and subscribe more and more so that I can many more and more videos on your syllabus. Thank you so much.